Okay, Shabbat Shalom Umevorach.
Shalom.
We are
Shabbat shalom.
opening this space of Parashat Shavua, TNT, Tfilah.
Rabbi, is it possible for you to make the font a little bigger?
Sorry?
The font, the letters a little bigger?
Pretty
I
big on
will
my
do
screen,
this.
Gail.
I will do this, okay? I will try to do this. Shabbat Shalom Umevorach. First of all, you are very welcome to this space of Torah and Tefillah. And we are going to start with Tefillah. We are going to start with some prayers. This is a special Shabbat. This is Shabbat previous to Hanukkah. And our spirit, our soul, it's really looking for light. And our neshama, our soul, it's ready for this. Let's start saying Matovu o Alecha Yaakov. Matovu o Alecha Yaakov, o Alecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Israel. Matovu o Alecha Yaakov, o Alecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Israel. Let's start with these nice words. How fair are your tents, O Jacob, your dwelling, O Israel. And let's say, Mode ani lefanecha, melech el chai v'chayam, shechezarta bi nishmati, bechemla rava emunatecha. Always, it's very good to start our meetings and to start our day thanking God. I offer thanks to you, ever-living sovereign, that you have restored my soul to me in mercy. How great is your trust. Eloi Neshama. I jump in from one tefillah to the other. And if you have your Sidur at home, you can open on page 292. If not, just follow me. There are prayers that I'm sure that you know. Elohai, Elohai, Neheshamam, Shenatata bi Tehorahim. Elohai, Elohai, Neheshamam, Shenatata bi Tehorahim. Ata berata, ata yetzarta, ata nefachta bi. Behata meshamra bekirbi. Elohai, Elohai, neheshamam, kenatata bi. Tehorahim. The soul that you have given me, O God, it's pure. You created and formed it, breathed it into me, and within me you sustain it. So long as I have breath, therefore, I will give thanks to you, my God and the God of all ages, source of all being, loving guide of every human spirit. This is the way that we understand God. It's not just our God. It's very selfish to say that it's our God and it's not the God of others. Okay, it's the God of the humanity. It's the God of Israel, but of course, it's the same God that others religions believe. It's not just our God. But the way that we understand God, it's different than other religions. Okay, this is the way we are believing in the divinity. We are believing in a God, a non-material God, and this God is the same God that appears, and we are going to read in our Torah portion in Vayeshev. Today we are going to study. We are going to continue to study the book of Breshit. There is a prayer during the Shacharit service that I'm really like. And this is something that we need to remember every day to have a better life. Elu devarim. These are things that are limitless and which a person enjoys the fruit of the world while the principle remains in the world to come. Okay, if you ask me, or if you are going to a
Rabbi,
special,
I'm sorry to interrupt. What page are we on?
I'm on page 298, Susan.
Thank you.
298, sorry.
Okay.
If you ask as an economist how you can invest your money, your value, to have a very good rate in the future, okay, and here you have an answer, but it's not a material answer, it's a spiritual answer, okay. You need to keep these things and you will receive good things in the future. And what is the way to receive good things in the future? Doing things now in this world. Perhaps there are things that you can keep nowadays. There are things that you can add in your life, but the result will be fantastic. Keep in mind and remember every day, they are honoring one's father and mother, engaging in deeds of compassion, arriving early for study morning and evening, dealing graciously with guests, visiting the sick, providing for the wedding couple, accompanying the dead for burial, being devout in prayer, and making peace among people. Okay, this is very important to practice every day. And my question is, did you did one of these things that I just read? Remember, honoring one's father and mother. Perhaps you can do this. Your father, your mother are not anymore in this world, or they are living far for you. Okay, there are other ways. Engaging in deeds of compassion, arriving early for study morning and evening. The thing is to study. It's very important to study. Be graciously with guests, visiting the sick. There are real things that we can do. Providing for the wedding couple. There are many, and especially many brides who don't have conditions to buy new clothes for a wedding. Bride and groom, why not the groom? Of course, and a way to keep a mitzvah, a commandment, it's to provide them for the wedding. Accompanying for dead for burial, okay, to be part of a minyan, it's very important. Try to imagine it's a difficult time that a person need to live when he or she lost a loved one, and then if you are going accompanying the death for burial, you are part of the minyan, and it's very important. Being devoted in prayer, what we are doing now, prayer. Take a time for your spirituality. It's very healthy. And making peace among people. But the study of Torah encompasses them all. What we are doing all now, it's really very important. Study of Torah, Talmud Torah, it's the way that we are talking about. This space, this virtual space, it's the way that I read this space, it's like a cheder. You know what is a cheder? Cheder was in the past a room, a small room, not luxury, yes, where the rabbi was enter with their students to study Torah and to study Talmud. This is the miracle. Yesterday I spoke during my sermon about miracles. This is the miracle of the technology. We are here in our cheder, in our virtual cheder, and this is very nice because the essence is the same. Okay, we are meeting in a small place, not luxury, to study Torah. But the idea that we rescue is the same that in the 16th, 17th century, when rabbis went to the Cheder with their students. Okay, last tefillah, last prayer, and then we enter to the Torah study. Let's pray together, Shema Israel. If you like, you can close your eyes. The invitation to close your eyes is we don't need to see nothing material to believe in our God. This is and also, of course, the concentration. Okay. Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 And the tefillah, the prayer, it's a way to give us the opportunity to enter in a different symphony to study Torah. Yes, now our concentration is different. We prepare our soul for this moment of study. I receive a request to increase let me see, the increase, let me just find where I can increase. I'm trying to see this. Wait a minute. I don't like to touch too much when it's working. Okay, let's see if I can do this. Perhaps you can help me where I can increase my screen. Then you can read better the Torah.
It's all right, Rabbi. I'll
Wait a minute. I know that we can do this, but I need to find where.
I think wherever you just were, I saw Zoom was one of the options.
There's
What's
not
that
option.
A?
Yeah,
What is
just
that A there?
go back to where you just were. You had a drop-down menu. Something
Go up
was,
here. Go up to the three dots.
Here?
yeah,
Yeah.
see down in the middle, it says Zoom
See, it says-
100%.
You can make it larger by clicking
Where,
on the
where is
plus.
Zoom?
Go
In the
down,
middle,
Yeah.
go
There
in
you
the
down,
middle,
go.
it says
down,
100
down,
plus
down.
and minus.
Ah,
down.
here.
There
Plus.
you go.
Okay.
Put in a plus.
Good.
all
Good
right.
job.
So,
Good job.
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
We are a team. We are a team. Okay. Let me return here. Okay. Okay. I know that it's simple, but we need to arrive. Technology. Okay. Okay. My friends, can you read better now? The
yeah,
screen?
but now you have to show us more. You need
Yeah.
to give us
Okay.
more to see, because I can only see one line now.
You just scroll down.
Yes, I will do this. Don't worry. Don't worry. I need just to scroll down. Okay.
There you go. Great. Got the
Okay.
first pasuk.
Okay,
Wow.
my friends, let's say the prayer Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu v'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. This is the way that we bless the opportunity to study Torah. And today we are going to study Parashat Vayeshev. Vayeshev. Now we are going, we need to remember that we are on the year 2227, and it was the year 1533 before the year 0, just to have an idea on a line time where we are. And we are, the family changed, Yitzhak died, Jacob was the patriarch of that time, and it's a fight between brothers, jealous, something that happened in our time, not different in the past time. Do you remember when we study about Yaakov and Esav, that Yitzhak prefer Esav and Rivka prefer Yitzhak, prefer Yaakov, sorry. Okay, the parents divide themselves by preference. They were twins, but instead to the Torah to show us that they love in the same way, in the same level, both kids. One parent, the mother prefer one, the father prefer another. Now we are in another generation, but we have the same problem because we are talking about the patriarch Yaakov, and his preference is in his son Yosef, and he had, we know, 12 sons. Why he prefer one than the others? It's difficult to explain, but we know that he, and how we know about it, Yaakov gave a gift, and we are going to see this, give a special gift, gave a special clothes to Yosef, and the brothers became a little jealous. Why their brother received a gift, a present for their father, and the others no? Okay, now we know a little bit more about psychologies. When we are giving a gift to one son, we need to give to the other. Then it's a way to compensate feelings. This is something that we learn. But in that time, perhaps they didn't know about it. We take more care in our days about it. If perhaps there are families that the parents continue to love one kid more than the other. It's not so.
Slicha, Rabbi.
Yes.
Shouldn't we also consider the fact that Joseph is the son of Rachel, and Rachel is the one that he really loves? That always seemed to me that that's why he was the favorite. All the others were kind of like stand-ins, stand-ins for Rachel, because he had to work so hard to get her.
Of course, this is an important point to remember that the Jacob sons, they are for 4 different mothers, and Jacob preferred Rachel. Yes, the number one in his list was Rachel, but the others women also were mother from their son. But it was something difficult to understand in that time for the brothers. It was really why my father is giving a gift to my brother, not to me. Why? It was, and there is another point. Joseph was really brilliant, was smart, was intelligent. He could read dreams. We will see this in the text. What about the others? What about the skills for the others? They were so smart than Joseph, yes or no? And this is also something that can develop the jealous between brothers when one is smarter than the others. Okay, it can be. Let's do this. Let's start our reading on the screen that I'm sure that everybody can see. We have the text in Hebrew and in English. Let's read in English, and perhaps let's talk about some specific words nowadays that we have so many problems in the land of Israel. This first verb, this first word that appears here, show us that for a long time our people live in the land of Israel. Vayeshev Yaakov ve'eretz megurei aviv. And this is very important because show us that Jacob was living in the same land where their father, when their ancestors used to live. And this is an idea of sovereignty. Yes, it's our land. If the land of our ancestor is the same land, Vayeshev Yaakov Eretz Megurei Aviv. This is not just a couple of words, and nowadays these words are really very important to show how old it's the relationship between the people of Israel and the land of Israel. Okay, who would like to read? A volunteer.
Okay.
Please.
Now Jacob was settled in the land where his father had sojourned, the land of Canaan. Then
This is something important. Sorry, Avi.
that's okay.
Avi. The land of Canaan, Eretz Canaan. Okay, in the past we didn't call Israel Israel. It was the land of Canaan, Eretz Canaan. Later on, we will call this land Israel. Okay, continue, please.
This then is the line of Jacob. At 17 years of age, Joseph tended the flocks with his brothers as a helper to the sons of his father's wives, Bilhah and Zilpah. And Joseph brought bad reports to them to their father. Now Israel loved Joseph best of all his sons. He was his child of old age, and he had made him an ornamental tunic.
Okay, this is the beginning of the tsure, okay, of the problem. Okay, this kutonet pasim, and this is it will be very important, this tunic, because through this tunic the brothers will lie. We will see this later, and they will say, okay, animals came and eat our brother, and he died. Okay, and they gave. Look how important was this tunic, that they came. They put a lot of blood into the tunic, and they gave to Jacob the tunic to show that Joseph was died. The tunic here, it's a symbol of preference in one way. Jacob gave a gift to Joseph, but this tunic will be the symbol and will be also something dramatic in this story, because the father, Joseph, when he saw the tunic that he prepared to his son with blood, he really believed that Joseph was died. Okay, child of old age. Okay, this is also so important. Yes, we have many examples in our society. Old people who have babies when they are old in their old age, and this baby became really very close to them because they have conditions to give everything and to appreciate in a different way the life and to spend more time perhaps with them because they are nowadays retired. They have the expertise to share knowledge and love and belongings. They can construct a different relationship. Okay, this tunic, okay, it's important in our story. Let's continue.
And when his brothers saw that their father loved him more than any of his brothers, they hated him so that they could not speak a friendly word to him.
Okay, there's no way, okay? No more way to have a good relationship with Joseph. Okay, they are jealous. And we need to recognize that jealous, it's a illness. Okay, there are people who kill for jealous. Okay, there are people who are obsessive by jealous. Yes, we read every day in the newspaper, every day newspaper, that couple fight and then the woman have a new relationship or the man have a new relationship and then the ex husband or ex boyfriend or girlfriend they coming back and they kill this man or that woman because they are jealous. They can't support that they rebuild their lives and the relationship. Jealous, it's a dangerous illness. And we will see that it's not different in that story. This is the way why I'm love to study Torah, because what we are seeing nowadays when we open the newspaper is the same that happened during the Jacob or Joseph time. They like to kill Joseph. Okay, this is the first reaction. They are jealous, they had a problem, they like to resolve the problem, and the easy way to resolve the problem was not, okay, we don't have any more condition to speak friendly with him, okay, let's kill him. Okay, let's see how the story continues.
Once Joseph had a dream, which he told to his brothers, and they hated him even more. He said to them, "Hear this dream which I have dreamed. Then we were binding sheaves in the field, when suddenly my sheaf stood up and remained upright. Then your sheaves gathered around and bowed low to my sheaf." His brothers answered, "Do you mean to reign over us? Do you mean to rule over us?" And they hated him even more for his talk about his dreams. He dreamed another dream and told it to his brothers, saying, "Look, I've had another dream, and this time the sun, the moon, and 11 stars were bowing down to me." And when he told it to his father and brothers, his father berated him. "What?" he said to him, "is this dream you have dreamed? Are we to come, I and your mother and your brothers, and bow low to you to the ground?" So his brothers were wrought up at him, and his father kept the matter in mind.
Okay, wait a minute. My question to you is, they had a problem, okay? They had a problem. And do you think that Joseph did the right thing to tell his dream to the family or not? Why? I can change the question. Why Joseph told his dreams to the family, and especially to the brothers? Please, Jenny.
Go
I
ahead.
think he's really arrogant here. He really is a snotty little kid. And he's not little, he's 17, so he's an adult. But he's, I would say that he's a narcissist here. He's all about himself, he's not about his family. he's hanging out, according to Rashi, he's hanging out with the sons of the handmaidens because his own brothers, I mean, he gets it that his own brothers despise him. But this is not the way to win people over. And I'm hoping that we can compare the Joseph at the end of this story with the Joseph that we're meeting right now, because I think he has a lot of lessons for us on how to behave. What you
Okay.
were talking about in your prayers.
Okay. One of the explanations about his dreams, and I ask you also, there are some people who used to dream and they remember their dreams, and when they get up, they share their dreams. I am one of them, and it's very funny because I talk to my daughter, and my daughter talk to me about her dreams, and I talk about my dreams to her. But it's something very common that I remember, and I share with the dream with hers. And what the explanation here is that he used to talk his dreams to the family or to the relatives. Okay, this is a practice, Joseph practice. Perhaps it was not a convenient dream to share with them. Other opinions? Thank you, Jane.
What's
Well,
funny,
I'm going to add to that. I think
Please.
you have to put his behavior in context.
Okay.
If he weren't so spoiled, I would accept your explanation. I remember my dreams also. And sometimes they're really, really true. They're portents of things to come. And I've shared those, and the reactions have gone through the whole spectrum, as you can imagine. But I'm putting it in context here. It's just not that he's sharing his dreams like you share your dreams with your daughter. These dreams are about his grandeur and their diminishment. It's
Okay.
and it goes with who he is right now.
Okay. Thank you,
Okay.
Jane. Another.
has anybody seen the show called Young Sheldon? The
Oh.
Young Sheldon. If you've seen Young Sheldon, this reminds me of what the Young Sheldon could have been based on, because Young Sheldon is this arrogant, very, very smart kid, smarter than everybody in his family. And everybody is annoyed with him all the time because he's too smart and he just says whatever he wants to say. And because he believes that he's willing to say it because he thinks he's right. But he has no tact at all. No tact at all. He's a lack of tact, almost like he's autistic or something. Where he's just in fact, they tested him for that on the show. They said they had to test him. He was tested and he was okay. But I mean, this reminds me, right? Like the show could have been based on this.
Okay. Thank you,
I see it as someone
Harvey.
else. As Harvey said, I see it as him just shoving his good fortune and his, as Jane said, his his arrogance in everyone's faces, knowing nothing, is going to come of it. But he loves shoving it in their faces.
Thank you, Avi. Jason?
Well, the thing that we're missing is the context of whether or not he was in the habit of sharing dreams all the time and just happened to have these two that are recorded, or whether he only shares these dreams because of his desire to put them in their place a little bit in his future mind, right? Like is he someone who has always, like you say, maybe you and your daughter have been discussing her dreams since she was a baby and this was normal. And so, I think we don't know, and we can't judge completely whether or not this is something that we're just don't have the whole story. And they so often leave pieces out. So I think we have room to give him some grace of saying maybe he commonly shared dreams that were not like this, and they just happen to tell us these because they are part of the juicy bit of the story. That's all.
Thank you, Jason. And what happened if every story was a dream? The part that he is telling to the family, it's also part of the dream, and it's not real. Could be. Could be like a story. Okay, he's looking, he's seeing everything in a dream. Here, one of the explanation is that they were formally thought to be prophetic. Okay, an Egyptian manual of the times give instructions on how to interpret such premonitory dreams. Okay, perhaps everything was a dream. Also, the story that he told to the family, perhaps also was all the episode was a revelation. Also, the part of his talking to the family, perhaps it's not real. It's part of the dream. Okay, we need to be careful about it, but the result of and sometimes we don't need to tell everything that we think. Okay, sometimes it's better, and if it's inconvenient to tell and to share things that the others or it's offensive for the others, better shut your mouth. keep your dreams. Yes, I saw another hand there.
That was me, Rachel.
Yes, please.
I just think you can also learn to listen undefensively, and they're listening very defensively. Like, oh, the dream, it means he wants to jump us all and rule us, you know? Like, he's not reading the room in terms of how it sounds to them, but also, you know, people can say things and it doesn't mean you have to immediately react.
Okay. Thank you. And here we have another information. Joseph had a dream, 6 dreams, 2 by Joseph, 2 by the prisoners, and 2 by Pharaoh. We have in this story 6 dreams, and he has the capacity to interpret the dreams. Okay. Some people, perhaps they forget the dreams. Here, Joseph can see, and perhaps it's part of a prophetic vision. Okay, this is part of his personality. He was special. He was more special than the others, and he has the capacity to see than others can see. And there are many people around us who has a capacity to look forward. When we are looking at the surrounding, they are just one step forward us. This is something that happened. Yes, Wendy.
I think another way that we can look at this passage is that the author of the story has identified Joseph as the inheritor of Jacob and Jacob's dreams, because we remember previously Jacob had also many dreams.
Yes.
Now Joseph has inherited this gift, and maybe I don't think this is narcissistic behavior. This is not really how narcissists behave. I have narcissists in my life, and narcissists like to put on a show on how wonderful they are to ingratiate themselves with other people. But I think that if you want to look at it, like, I forget who was talking about the autism perspective. By the way, I was tested with autism and I was found to be autistic, and you know what? I'm okay. I'm fine. Anyways, it could be that, you know, what it is.
Thank you. Yes.
If you're neurodivergent or not, if for someone like me, what I think is rude, somebody else won't think is rude, or what I think is not rude, someone else will think is rude. So there's always this disconnect with these two different types of peoples also.
Thank you, Wendy. Let's continue our reading. Abby, we are in verse 11, 12. I don't remember.
12. One
Okay.
time when his brothers had gone to pasture their father's flock at Shechem, Israel said to Joseph, "Your brothers are pasturing at Shechem.
Hem. Yes.
Come, I will send you to them," he answered. "I am ready." And he said to him, "Go and see how your brothers are and how the flocks are faring, and bring me back word." So he sent him from the valley of Hebron. When he reached Shechem, a man came upon him wandering in the fields. The man asked him, "What are you looking for?" He answered, "I am looking for my brothers. Could you tell me where they are pasturing?" The man said, "They have gone from here, for I heard them say, 'Let us go to Dothan.'" So Joseph followed his brothers and found them at Dothan. They saw him from afar, and before he came close to them, they conspired to kill him.
Okay, you see, yes, the first reaction, they conspired to kill him. This is the first idea. They were really very angry with Joseph, and they like to kill. This is not a Jewish behavior. Continue, please.
They said to one another, "Here comes that dreamer. Come now, let us kill him, throw him into one of the pits, and we can say, 'A savage beast devoured him.' We shall see what comes of his dreams." But when Reuben heard it, he tried to save him from them. He said, "Let us not take his life." And Reuben went on, "Shed no blood. Cast him into that pit out into the wilderness, but do not touch him yourselves," intending to save him from them and restore him to his father. When Joseph came up to his brothers, they stripped Joseph of his tunic, the ornamented tunic that he was wearing, and took him and cast him into the pit. The pit was empty, there was no water in it. Then they sat down to a meal. Looking up, they saw a caravan of Ishmaelites coming from Gilead, their camels bearing gum, balm, and ladanum to be taken to Egypt.
Okay, just 1 minute. I spoke before about the tunic. The tunic appears here on verse 23. When Joseph came up to his brother, they stripped Joseph of his tunic, the ornamented tunic that he was wearing. This is the tunic that Jacob gave as a gift. And I mentioned that this tunic, it's a symbol, the symbol of hate, okay? The symbol that one prefer one of the brothers, and now the tunic, the first things that appear, they like to kill, and the second thing related in this story, they strip it of his tunic. Okay, it's an obsession. Okay? It's an obsession. This tunic became. Let's see if we have a special interpretation about the tunic. Let me see here in the discussion. It was really very, very difficult for Joseph to fight against their brothers, and they put them they put him in a hole, in a bore, yes, deep. They try to kill. Reuben appears, and we need to remember that Reuben was the oldest brother, and he tried to protect in some way Joseph. He was not entire success, because the idea was to sell Joseph to other people, but we can see that really one of his goals was succeeding in the way that they didn't kill Joseph. They were pastors, okay, shepherds. It was a common profession in that time. We can see that it was the same profession of the Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. Most of them were shepherds. And when the Torah talk us about the place, give us an idea that this story happened far from the place that was Joseph. Shechem was about 60 miles from Hebron, from the place that they live, and in that times, yes, without roads, it was really, really far, but it was a way to understand that it was difficult for Jacob to have news about his son. They were shepherds and they used to go here and there. They always were looking for water for the animals and for them, for themselves. But this story happened far from the place that they were. Please continue.
Then Judah said to his brothers, "What do we gain by killing our brother and covering up his blood? Come, let us sell him to the Ishmaelites. But let us not do away with him ourselves. After all, he is our brother, our own flesh." His brothers agreed. When the Midianite traders passed by, they pulled Joseph up out of the pit. They sold Joseph for 20 pieces of silver to the Ishmaelites, who brought Joseph to Egypt. When Reuben returned to the pit and saw that Joseph was not in the pit, he rent his clothes. Returning to his brothers, he said,
Wait a minute. This is very important, and this is a Jewish tradition that coming from the time of the desert, okay, and it's really a very old tradition. When someone died, the tradition is to rent the clothes. Okay, Vaikra et vegadav. This is something that we keep till our days. Remember, when we are going to the cemetery in the burial time, the close relative, like mother, father, son, daughter, brother, okay, if one of these relative died, the tradition is to rent the clothes. It shows that you are a mourner, and the other people can distinguish you than the others, that you are really a direct mourner from the people who died. Yes, I saw a hand up.
It's
Yes.
me. It's
Yes,
me
Jane.
again, Rabbi. One of the things that I love about Torah is how the same scenes seem to get reflected over and over again. They're so basic. I can't help but think when the brothers throw Joseph into the pit, what comes to my mind is Cain and Abel. When Cain slays Abel, God says to him, "Your brother's blood is crying out to me from the ground." I don't know why, but these two scenes seem to go together. And I hadn't thought about it before, but you mentioned how distant they are from where Jacob has settled. Did you say in Hebron? They were in Hebron?
Yes.
Yeah. That reminded me of Abraham and Isaac when they went to Mount Moriah, because that is so far from where they were living. So one of the themes that I'm picking up here again is this is distance, is, as you said, this jealousy. Yes, there isn't blood. I mean, they didn't kill Joseph, but they might as well have if they're going to sell him to the Midianites. So I just wanted to share that with you.
Thank you, Jane. And this is important. And distance, sometimes it's not just physical distance, it's a spiritual distance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. See, Reuben seems more Jewish as you said, than the other brothers because he actually mourned Joseph's absence.
Where
They-
he is, where he is,
Yeah.
and he's feeling with this is what my interpretation. If he's the oldest brother, he's feeling with the responsibility to take care from the others,
Mhm.
and he couldn't take care from the others. And now, as a sudden, Joseph disappeared. They don't know that the Ishmaelites sell to the Midianites, and where is Joseph?
Mhm.
How they can explain to their father what happened with Joseph?
Right.
The unique thing that they have now, and they know, it's about the tunic. Nothing else. Where he is, he disappeared. He's anymore there. And how they can go back and tell to Jacob that Joseph is not anymore there. How they can justify and the responsibility of him. I am the oldest brother and I didn't take care from my brothers. Okay, my father will be furious with me. Okay, this is the other way of the story. Okay, let's continue with the reading.
Okay. Returning to his brothers, he said, "The boy is gone. Now what am I to do?" Then they took Joseph's tunic, slaughtered a kid, and dipped the tunic in the blood. That's what they did there. They had the ornamental tunic taken to their father, and they said, "We found this. Please examine it. Is it your son's tunic or not?"
Is it not this question also a little how I can say it's like a boomerang? Okay, your preference was by Joseph, and you gave this tunic. Take this tunic, okay? Take your preference back. Okay, you did something bad to us. We suffer by this preference. Take this tunic back, and they know that it was the Jacob tunic who gave to Joseph. And is it not a rhetoric question?
They're not honoring their father. I mean, it's a knockout blow to Jacob.
Okay. Other thoughts, other reactions?
Did they hate Jacob as much as they hate Joseph by this?
I don't know if they hate too much, but they show to their father that perhaps he was wrong. Taking this tunic with blood, perhaps this shows to Jacob that he was wrong.
So
Uh-oh.
you're saying that that the sons are actually teaching Jacob a lesson, like they're doing a good thing.
Yes, you're right. Doing a bad thing, it's not a way to teach anything.
Right. I think it's cruel.
Okay. We need to remember that Jacob, like Abraham, they had really difficult life. Their lives were not an easy life. They had many. God tested them every time, and also they have troubles with their own family. This is nothing different that happened in our days between our families.
Yeah, that's why I
Sometimes
like them. They're just like us.
sometimes we have discussions, strong discussions, and fight between the family and preference, and perhaps one kid receive more than others. Why my father gave this mansion, this house, or this car, or this account to him, to her, and preference. They are really problems, authentic problems, family problems. And we are a big family with a lot of tzures, with a lot of problems to resolve. Okay, let's continue our reading.
He recognized it and said, "My son's tunic. A savage beast devoured him. Joseph was torn by a beast." Jacob rent his clothes, put sackcloth on his loins, and observed mourning for his son many days. All his sons and daughters sought to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted, saying, "No, I will go down mourning to my son in Sheol." Thus his father bewailed him. The Midianites, meanwhile, sold him in Egypt to Potiphar,
Yes, Potiphar.
a courtier of Pharaoh and his prefect.
Okay, this story, this first chapter of our parasha, chapter 37 for the book of Bereshit, ends, and this is also important. All the story ends in Egypt and ends with Potiphar. Potiphar was an important member of the Pharaoh court, and we see we have two peoples here, Ishmaelim and the Midianim, and then finally Joseph arrived to Egypt, and this will be very important because we know what happened in Egypt with our people, and we can compare when the brothers put Joseph in a wall. It shows that they put in under the hairs in a low level, and when they went to Egypt, it was like they are going down the steps, arriving to the other place, but also going down, down. The story started with Joseph when they put in a hole, and then this chapter ends with Joseph continue going down now to Egypt. But we can see that for one place he will go. We will see how the story change, and from the bottom he will go to the top. He will be the governor of Egypt by his brilliant ideas. And why he arrived to Egypt? Because his dreams, because he spoke about his dreams. And he went to the low level by his dreams, but he will come back to the top through his dreams. Okay, the dreams are here the key to understand our parasha. We have Gail. Did you like to? Christine, sorry.
Yes, thank you. Well, there is another, there's a Gail. Okay. Anyway, what I wanted to add was that all of this starts with greed and jealousy, and that greed and jealousy leads to betrayal not only of the brother, but also of the father. You know, that they betray him and his trust by lying to him, and that you know, their brother gets sold into slavery. But slavery in Egypt was, you know, much more complicated than it's originally saying, because if you were, you know, brilliant or whatever, because you were a slave, you had by definition no inheritors, right? And you were not a threat in that sense to Pharaoh or the vizier or anybody else. So a lot of times slaves became trusted advisors because there's nothing they could do. And you didn't have to worry about your relatives and their jealousy and their greed. And so the slave becomes the trusted advisor. And that's a thing that you see a lot in different forms of estate formation is the substitution of the kinless person for the ordinary inheritors, because they only have the ruler or owner to thank for their provisioning. It has nothing to do with inheritance or anything else. So while it's integral to the story, it's also that, you know, this is a pattern, and it's a pattern in state formation that you screw your kin in order to have a trusted advisor. And so the whole story is about betraying your kin on all kinds of levels. And I think that it's really it's an incredible story just because of the different layers of betrayal that are involved. Anyway.
Thank you very much, Christine. And we are arriving to the end of this chapter, and I don't like to continue because if not, we are going to enter in another issues. And I would like to remember that today at 2 p.m. We would like to share with you a pre-Hanukkah intergenerational activity, and we hope that everybody will be in person with us at the temple. Okay, if you didn't know, please, now you know. If you can organize yourself to be with us, I will be very happy, and also with the organizer committee will be very happy to receive you at the temple. We are going to share a very nice Hanukkah activity with study, with the prayers, with music, with latkes, with dreidels, and with some games. Will be a very nice afternoon. Don't miss today in our temple. And I would like to thank every one of you for your participation. Just as a final word, I would like to say, take care about your dreams, or take care with whom you share your dreams. Okay?
Oh, lovely. Okay.
But
Thank you, Rabbi.
But remember that someone, when he's going to bed, to sleep, have a sweet dreams. Yes, we wish sweet dreams. Okay, and I would like to wish to you to have sweet and nice dreams. Okay, always. Shabbat shalom umevorach.
Shalom.
Later.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom. Thank you,
Thank you.
Rabbi.
One last thing, don't
Shalom.
forget to bring a toy for the toy drive today.
Okay.
Okay, so don't leave that toy at home. Anything unwrapped, new unwrapped, and that will go to kids who have nothing.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.
Okay. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Shabbat shalom.
Bye.